Welcome. So my name is Jill Daly, and I am the director for the Israel Ministry of Tourism, and I'm really excited to be with you today just to give you some updates on what's happening in Israel right now, as well as just general information that I can share with you and just help you to understand Israel as a destination a little bit better. I do encourage you, if you do have questions, feel free to put them into the questions area, and I will be taking the time to answer those as we have time at the end of the presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and get started now and just talk about the promised land of meaningful travel, Israel. So some of the things in terms of Israel right now that we're really excited about. 2025, it was a year of recovery for us. It was marked by the return of the major airlines. 30% of all of our visitors to Israel did come from the U.S. So the U.S. is the major driver in terms of tourism to Israel. And just to give you some numbers that we had that just were recently released. So right now we're looking at the numbers that we have for January of 2026. And looking at that, January 2026 compared to January 2025, we are up by 55% year over year. And looking at it even a little bit further and seeing that in 2019, our best year ever in terms of tourism, we are just 70% of those numbers. So we're just 30% off. So it really is a lot of building that is going to be happening over the next year and rebuilding. And, you know, people are coming back. We actually have a group right now of journalists that are in Israel. So I woke up today to pictures of their trip and it looks amazing. I myself just came back from my trip in January, beginning part of February, and just had a fabulous time seeing a lot of different places. One of those places, and I'm going to just kind of skip a second, but one of those places that we had the opportunity to see was the Pilgrimage Road at the City of David, which is now open to the public. So we're really excited. That was opened in September of 2025. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We also just finished a project and reopened Qasr El Yahud, which was inaugurated just recently after a $8.1 million renovation. And this is the third most popular most important Christian site in Israel. So those things are happening and new things. As I mentioned, the City of David recently opened their Pilgrimage Road. And one of the things for me that was just fascinating is this is the first time in 2,000 years that we've been able to walk on the ancient main street of Jerusalem. This is the street that led millions of pilgrims to the Temple Mount. It was a vital corridor during that time of the Second Temple period, and it went from the Pool of Siloam to the Temple Mount. And it was once thought that this was an area of working class people, but they've been able to since prove that it was more of the elite of Jerusalem, as well as a place where they originally believed that King Herod was the constructor of, but have found evidence that Pontius Pilate was actually the initiator. So it's really an amazing opportunity to see. One thing about Israel is it really is a living, breathing place. We are finding new discoveries all the time. We're excited to share. We're excited for you to be able to see those things. So the other thing is, you know, just to talk a little bit more about Israel and the fact that it really is an ancient land, but a very modern nation. It is, you'll have no problems when you're there. You know, so many times we go in, it is that we see that the destination is English is widely spoken and understood. And we find out maybe it was like one or two people at the resort that speaks English for us, and we have to find them on that Tuesday. But, you know, English is widely spoken. One of the things that was really a great experience for us is when we were in Israel just recently, we had the opportunity, they brought all of us from around the world to be able to see Israel and have meetings, professional meetings. But myself and some of my colleagues, we took some extra days and we really had the opportunity to explore. And, you know, we took a car, we drove, we were able to follow the road signs that were in English. We were able to read the menus that were in English. So it really is very widely spoken for your clients that maybe might be a little bit hesitant for. Most businesses within Israel do accept major credit cards. Our current currency is the shekel, and Americans don't need a visa to enter. But I do want to tell you about a new recent change that we do have that we'll kind of talk a little bit about is the ETA IL application program. This is for those that are coming from non-visa required countries. So visa accept countries like the US and Canada, you will need to fill out an ETA. It is an online thing, very easily filled out. Approval comes pretty quickly within having the opportunity of filling this out. You do have to have a valid email address, your travel information, and a valid passport and some personal information to fill out for this. It does come very quickly. Like I said, the cost is $7, and I really want to emphasize that it's really 25 shekels, around $7. There are many people out there that are scamming, and they're saying, oh, we can get you the visa, it's $100. It is $7. So if you have the opportunity, please feel free to go ahead and scan here, that you can find out more information about the application process and be able to apply for you or for your clients that might be going to Israel. Please note that it could take 72 hours for approval, so it is best that within 72 hours of travel to make sure that you've had the opportunity to fill that out. One thing about Israel is we have 40+ airlines with direct flights from the US and Canada, connections via European hubs. That's approximately 102 nonstop flights from the US per week. All three of the major US carriers have been starting with direct flights. American is coming back this year. The rest of them have started that. And then we also have El Al Airlines, which is our official airline of the state of Israel. They flew throughout after everything happened of October 7th, and really have continued flights, and is a great airline and just an extension of what Israel is. To look at some of the places that fly to Israel for the nonstop flights, mostly along the coast with Boston, New York, Washington, D.C., and Miami. We also have Los Angeles on the West Coast. Really excited for those in the Midwest. Being based here in Chicago, it's exciting to see that United has a nonstop flight 4 days a week from Chicago. We also have a new service that will be starting with Delta from Atlanta, and Air Canada for those of our friends to the north. The main entry points into Israel are Ben Gurion Airport, which is just in Tel Aviv. We also have our ports of Haifa Port, Ashdod, in Eilat. One thing is that right now the cruise lines are not fully back yet. They will be coming back soon, hopefully within the next year or so. The other thing is Israel really has the luxury of size. We're about the size of the state of New Jersey, or those Midwesterners. You can fit 3 Israels into Lake Michigan and still have room to swim around. So it really gives you the opportunity that when you're selling to your clients, you're really selling the entire country. You're not selling a specific area, you're selling everything at that time. One thing about Israel is there is 6 microclimates along the Mediterranean Sea. We're located. We have the beaches, we have the mountains, we have gardens, valleys, deserts, and rivers throughout. And you'll see and notice in that picture with the mountains, snow. We are at the end of the Alpine Trail. It gives you the opportunity for those that have clients that have enjoy downhill skiing. You can actually do that. And the luxury of the size of the state is in the same day, you can actually drive south to the Dead Sea and be floating in the Dead Sea at the same time. There we go. I wanted to kind of go over just some of our key regions within Israel that and just highlight some of the places that many of the travelers go. Between Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, the north, the Dead Sea, and the south, there are so much that it offers, and there's an Israel for everyone. So no matter what your client is interested in, if they want to have the opportunity for faith-based travel, they will have the opportunity to do that. If they want to try wine and culinary, I actually just had a meeting in this morning with someone that is an expert on Israeli wine, and just talking about all of the different Israeli wines, it makes me want to go back and just be able to try the wines. So kind of the highlights. Jerusalem, it is our crown jewel, it is our capital. 80% of the tourists that are coming to Israel visit Jerusalem. It is a very small city, and it is one of the oldest cities in the world, over 3,000 years old. It's the birthplace of the three monotheistic religions. So you'll find many different religions within this one small area, 1,500 synagogues, 600 churches, 600 mosques. We have over 900 restaurants and 70 bars in the area. And just to highlight some of the places within, the Machane Yehuda market. It is a great opportunity that if you have those clients that are foodies that want to have the opportunity for a food tour within the market, they can do that and see all of the different spice shops, all of the different places like that. For those that are coming for the religious experience and wanting to see the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the end of the Via Dolorosa. So for the Catholics, it's a great opportunity. It's believed by many to be where Jesus was entombed, as well as the garden tomb. So it kind of depends on where you fall on that. There's no definitive answer in terms of if it was at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre or the Garden Tomb, but it's a great opportunity for you to bring your Christian travelers to Israel. The Western Wall is one of the most fantastic places. It doesn't matter what religion you're coming for, if you are Jewish, if you're a Christian, it is one of my favorite places. It's hard now because I always ask and have a show of hands, and it's hard to do the show of hands, but those that have been to Israel before, that have had the opportunity, that you have put a note in the Western Wall. One of the things that makes it so special is the fact that those notes are carefully collected after they fall out of the wall, and they're buried on the Mount of Olives. So if you've been there before, if you put a note in the wall, know that your note is still there and it's still part of Israel. Tel Aviv is, I like to always say that if New York and Miami had a baby, it would be Tel Aviv. It's located right there on the Mediterranean. They have beautiful beaches along 8.6 miles of beaches on the Mediterranean there. So when we were there in January, one of my colleagues got up in the morning and went swimming. So the water temperature was still beautiful to be able to have a morning swim in January. So those of us from the Midwest, or even the unfortunate ones in New York right now that are snowed in, it's not something I think we're used to. So it was beautiful to have that opportunity. They have amazing restaurants, vegan, vegetarian, any kind of food that you can imagine. It's a melting pot of so many different cultures and so many different people coming from around the world that have had the opportunity to come and bring their culture and bring their food to this one small country and just create these amazing fusions of flavors. We have the world's largest collection of Bauhaus buildings throughout. So you can do a walking tour with your clients can do a walking tour through the city and see the Bauhaus architecture. We are known as the White City in Tel Aviv and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Some of the places just to highlight within Israel, within the Tel Aviv area, is Jaffa. Tel Aviv and Jaffa are one municipality. Jaffa is located right there along the Mediterranean. It is the oldest port city in the world. So having the opportunity to go and see the old versus the new of Tel Aviv, the vibrant, the Carmel market as well. You can do cooking classes. When I was there, we did a walking tour through the market and had the opportunity to try so many different wonderful foods while we were there. Neve Tzedik is one of the first neighborhoods outside of Jaffa when Jaffa was expanded, and then eventually Tel Aviv. So they have some great little shops there, actually an amazing gelato place that I love to go when I'm there. Moving north. North is really a great opportunity for those that are sending their clients that are looking for faith-based. It's the heart of the Christian experience in Israel. You're right there along the Sea of Galilee. You have Capernaum. You have the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Excuse me. You have the Mount of Beatitudes, where Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount, and having those opportunities to kind of walk in the footsteps of Jesus. This is where he spent most of his ministry. It was in the Galilee area. One thing about Israel as well, we have over 100 vineyards just in this area of the north, over 300 boutique vineyards throughout the country, made large and boutique. I mentioned before that we are the home to Israel's only ski resort, which is the Mount Hermon. It is there in the north as well. So, a lot of great opportunities. One of the things that I was really excited about is when I was in Israel just recently, as we were driving north from Tel Aviv, we had the opportunity to stop in a small village and try the Druze cuisine. Great experience, and just giving you a different perspective in terms of the food scene within Israel. Highlighting some of the different areas, I had the opportunity when we did go in January, we stayed in Haifa. We stayed right at the bottom of the Baha'i Gardens. It is absolutely gorgeous to be able to walk up the Baha'i Gardens and to be able to see these. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Mentioned too, you're right there along the Sea of Galilee in the north, where there's many opportunities to kind of follow in the footsteps and minister as Jesus did. You have the opportunity to go out on a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee, to visit Akko, which is an ancient city, a Crusader city, and walk the Knights' Halls of that. So if you have clients that are really into the Crusades, they're interested in those type of things, it really is a beautiful experience to be able to go through the Knights' Hall and have that tour as well. Now, moving a little bit more south to the Negev, it makes up approximately 60% of the country. So many people, when they think of Israel, they think brown, they think of desert, they're thinking of the Negev, they're thinking of the south. So many other areas like the north are beautiful, they're green, they're lush, but the desert area of the Negev is just its own kind of special magic. I was there a couple years ago and we did stargazing in the Ramon crater. So during the day we did a Jeep tour of the Ramon crater, and in the evening we did stargazing and had the opportunity to be able to see that. There's the experiences of Bedouin experiences that you can do while you're there. You'll see the camels a little bit more readily in that area. So many people think that they go to Israel and they're going to see camels everywhere. You really don't. But there is experiences to be able to do camel rides, as well as go to nature reserves in that area as well. Some of the sites to highlight, we have a new person that is working in my offices, and he's a scuba diver and loves scuba diving, and was so excited to hear about Eilat and the fact that he can scuba dive in Eilat. So if you have clients that want to have that experience of scuba diving, Eilat is a great opportunity for them to do that. I mentioned to the Ramon crater and having the opportunity for Jeep tours in the Ramon crater, as well as seeing all the different places of Timnah and being outside and having the opportunity to hike within the desert. And finally, the Dead Sea region. It is the lowest place on earth. It is the third saltiest body of water in the world. So I don't care what anybody tells you. If they say they can't float, they won't float, they will. I promise you, everybody floats in the Dead Sea. It is an amazing experience. If you want to do world-class hotels or spa facility experiences, you can do that there. It's around 330 days of sunny weather there. So incredible place to do. I mentioned the Bedouin experience as well. With the South, you can also do the Bedouin experience in this area and do tent hosted culinary experiences, or for the very adventurous, you can actually do camping as well. In some of the areas that I'd like to highlight, Masada is one of my favorite places. There is a cable car that will take you to the top of Masada. If it is a beautiful place to be able to see the sunrise in the area. However, I can tell you there is no cable car at that time of the morning, so you will have to climb up and hike up Masada. So if you have somebody that's really active and wants to have that opportunity of climbing Masada, myself, I did it a number of years ago. It was an amazing experience. I'm glad that I did it. I'm also glad that I didn't die, because it is definitely a hard experience to be able to get up to the top of Masada, just in terms of just the activity level, not anything else. And Getty is a nature reserve within an oasis within the Dead Sea region. So they have waterfalls there. Again, great outdoor experience, great hiking. You can do En-Bokek, which is the area of the Dead Sea where a lot of the hotels and the resorts are. So if you're sending clients that want that resort experience, spa experience, this is a great place to be. You know, one of the things that I wanted to kind of convey the most here is the fact that there is an Israel for everyone. There's something, whether you are sending clients that are looking for faith and heritage, but they also love the opportunity for adventure. You can do a combination that way. Luxury versus budget. We have amazing 5-star restaurants as well as hostels that people can stay at. We have adventure. We have culinary and wine throughout the country. Pretty much wherever you are, you're not far from a winery. We're excited here in Chicago to be welcoming a milk and honey distillery, which is a whiskey distillery from Tel Aviv. So really, no matter what your clients are looking for, there's something for every one of your clients while you're in Israel. We do have offices throughout the country. We have offices in New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Los Angeles, as well as an office in Toronto with our many directors that are there. We are really all here to support you. So if you have questions, please reach out to us. That is why we are here. Here in Chicago, our Chicago team is myself as the director. We have Lisa, who is our business development manager, and then Brian, who is our PR director for the Midwest. So we are here to help you and support you. We also have a number of different websites. We have our agent website and our consumer website. There is a QR code to that. We have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook as well. So I'm hoping that, you know, just in the last 25, 30 minutes that I had the opportunity to speak to you, you've learned a lot more about Israel. You've learned about what Israel is about. If you have questions, I do encourage you to put it into the chat. I believe that Sivan is here as well, that is going to talk about Israel Airline. I mentioned that El Al is our official airline for Israel, and Sivan is going to speak a little bit more on that. So I'm going to let Sivan, if you're ready, I'm going to let you take over then. And I just need to stop sharing my screen. There we go.
Sharing the right thing. Are you seeing my screen?
It's looking good, Sivan.
Okay, perfect. So, hi everyone. Nice to meet everyone, although I can't see you. I'm Sivan. I'm from El Al. We are the national carrier to Israel. Thanks, Jill. This was a great preview of why you should go to Israel. It's definitely should be on all of your to-do list and as soon as possible as well. We are the national carrier, and we have been in the business since the beginning of Israel. If you know it or not, Israel is a pretty young country altogether, 1948, so pretty young. And we've been there since the beginning. We have direct flights from the East Coast and the West Coast, and we'll talk about it. We definitely have the most seats from North America, and you have many options when you are traveling with us between all of our gateways and our times. So I'll start with a little bit of numbers from 2025 to give you a little bit of
Excuse me, Sivan, are you able to crank up the volume at all? We're getting difficult to hear.
Is this better? That's better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Of course. So we'll go over a little bit of the numbers from 2025 to kind of give you an overview of the size of the company and what we do. Last year we had 6.5 million. We currently have 46 aircrafts, and we are actually traveling to 48 destinations. I will say that we just added 8 new destinations in the last month. So this is definitely a nice, you know, add on to what we already had. You can see it's pretty global. And we have definitely 6 different gateways from North America, and that is not even including our co-chairs. In the last month, we just announced we are starting to fly to Hanoi, Vietnam in October 26, to Seoul in May 26, and to Manila, in addition to 5 more destinations in Europe. Those are all direct from Tel Aviv. So, for you, it might be actually more relevant as a stopover, and getting to Israel through Europe, that's also an option. Definitely many opportunities, or we have a lot of destinations in the Far East, so maybe a stop in Israel in the close East, basically, before you get there. Here are how many flights we actually operate. So I have both winter and summer, and I think it's important because you can see the difference. We definitely have more flights in the summer. We increase it by much, and we added not long ago Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So now we are also operating from the south of the US. With that being said, Fort Lauderdale is going to basically be taken over by Miami. So we're adding 1 more flight in the winter time to Miami for a total of 7 flights weekly. Instead of the Fort Lauderdale flights that we have, we basically replaced the smaller aircraft with a larger aircraft, and this is the reason. So it's, again, more seats available also from Miami, which has been a very, very successful line so far. I think this is really important, and I'm not sure if I shared that before, even in the webinar that we did, I want to say like a year and a half before. These are our co-chairs from North America. I think it's important to also show you our co-chairs with Canada, WestJet, and Porter. Aero Mexico from Mexico, which is actually a pretty new co-chair that we have. And of course, in the US, we have Delta. I wrote here that it's available for individuals. Specifically with Delta, I do want to mention that we do have the option to also do small groups. When I say small groups, it's up to 40. And I know that is something you can request in the portal, in your portal. So definitely keep that in mind. If it's from our gateways or if it's from, also Delta, most of their gateways, not all the tiny airports, but in general, it does expand our reach in the US in general. We share points, and status actually does get accommodated according to the status on Delta. It's automatic. So, you check the bag all the way to Israel from whatever gateway you have. It's 1 ticket, so it is protected, and that is really important. I think right now what's happening in New York is just a great indication of why we need 1 ticket when we are traveling in wintertime. So that's definitely a very big advantage. So from North America, from the US, we actually offer 2 types of tickets. Classic is, beside including a carry-on and including a checked bag, it's the regular kind of seat that you would expect from a long haul travel, basically including your seat and food, and we'll talk about the food in a little bit. And of course, we don't have change fees when you are changing within the US. So that's a very important part, and that is also in our basic ticket. And that gives you 2 carry-ons. I know some people actually prefer that over an additional checked bag. So you can have 2 carry-ons. We'll speak about the type of seats, but preferred seat is basically an extra seat, extra space seat. So that is also included in the price of the Flex. And look at the difference in the refund fees, huge difference. So, you can use your Allow Protect, which is actually included within the Flex, or you can just refund the full ticket for only a penalty of $50. So either way, it is giving you way more flexibility, and that is a great option that we also offer from the US. I promised to speak about food, and I think in Israel that's a very important topic in general. Our menu is designed and created by Asaf Granit. Asaf Granit is a Michelin star chef for in France. He's actually Israeli, and he has a few Michelin star restaurants around the world. So he has been working with us for the last, I want to say, 2 years. Huge project. We just even started new menus from the US, again, created by him. So I do think as part of the Israeli experience, we want you to have some, bring the flavors already from the first few minutes in the aircraft, and he is helping us give you that experience. For all of you to know, from the US, we mainly operate our Dreamline. We have a total of 17 Dreamliners. And in the last year or so, we have also added into this our 777s. They are all configured exactly like the Dreamline. So it's the same exact experience. Of course, it's a wider aircraft, but in general, we'll go over pictures. And if you are sitting in the Dreamline or if you're sitting in the 777, it will be exactly the same. So the experience is exactly the same. This is how our economy department looks. As you can see, nice screens. We obviously also give headphones. You have the option to connect to Wi-Fi on the aircraft. You can see it's pretty spacious, pretty comfortable, and everyone has USB ports, which I know is very important in our days. Let's talk a little bit about the front of the economy. So basically, this is the regular economy. On the front, we have two options. We have space and extra space. Both are dynamic pricing as well, and both give you just more room for the legs. So the service is still economy. With that being said, it is the front of the economy, so you are sitting in middle to front of the aircraft, and you do have way more room for the legs. This is included in the flex option of our ticket. Next on, we'll speak about the premium class. So a separate cabin, food is served in ceramics, only 2 seats, one next to another, way more wide, a lot of room for the feet. I think value for money is definitely premium class in our aircrafts. And lastly, of course, our business class. You can lay down completely. Each one has their own kind of area, very separate. We have ones that are together for couples. We have ones that are actually facing, the other way for more privacy, and your own service in the front of the aircraft. I do want to mention here, and just in a few words, we do have the Matmeed, our frequent flyer program. It is very beneficial for people who are traveling to Israel more than once. We have promotions for birthdays. We have promotions. Right now, we're actually, if you look online, there is a very good promotion of globally, very good pricing right now in general for the next few months. So if you have somebody who does tend to travel to Israel, make sure that they do have them at Matmeed. It's free to join from the US. So, and they'll get those benefits. Why not? You can also use in our program the miles from Delta and vice versa. This is our lounge in Israel. So the El Al King David Lounge was just finished this year after a very long time of renovation. So it is, I haven't experienced it yet. Jill, I don't know if you have, but I've heard good things. And just by, having a partnership with Nespresso, I think that's already a very important point. Israelis love coffee and good coffee. So that's definitely already a benefit. Again, giving you the Israeli experience with food that is local. We're very much, I'm sure Jill mentioned that as well, farm to market, eating fresh, and that is all represented in the lounge itself. Beside that, for any of our business class or top TP and PLs, we also have lounges that we collaborate on in all of our gateways. So anyway, if your client is a business class, they will get access both in the US and in Israel to the lounge. These are the list of the current lounges that we have in each airport. So definitely good options and a good way to relax prior to the flight. And I do want to say that, you know, we have been winning for the 5th year already, the award of service on board. So I think, I mean, this is a big deal. We don't take it for granted. And this year, El Al was also ranked in the top 25 global airlines. It's the first year we're actually part of this. So I think we're growing, we're improving. And I think the experience, and that is what El Al is really trying to bring to the table, a real Israeli experience that once you step in, you feel you're already one step closer to Israel. If it's the food, if it's the music, you also have some entertainment, TV shows, and some of them you might be familiar with here because Netflix have some of them, but also Israeli movies, Israeli films, of course, in addition to everything you are familiar with, but kind of bringing you slowly already into Israel. So definitely the authentic experience. And yeah, and we are here. All of the bookings you can do from your platform, all the requests you can, I know Centrav have been working with us for a very long time by now. So it's all available for you. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask, but you know, we're here. And if you want to come to Israel, it's easier now than it was than before.